Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, family. How are you? How are we?
We're listening. We're feeling.
Yes. Oh, some of us are hitting a wall. That's okay. That's to be expected. It's all good. Trust me, all good ahead.
It's good to know at this
hmm
point in my journey that the only part of me that can hit the wall
hmm
is the ego.
The part that doesn't actually exist.
Yeah, that bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the only thing that's being deconstructed is what was never true to begin with, where no life is,
Mhm.
where illusions reign, fear dominates. Yeah, we're letting all of that go to chip away at the filter or the veil so that we can join our mind with what is, which is the holy self that's always been right there. Okay, so that's what's happening. So take heart, be comforted. It only hurts for a minute.
Oh.
All right, I'm going to read today's lesson 336. Forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Forgiveness is the means appointed for perception's ending. So knowledge is restored after perception first is changed and then gives way entirely to what remains forever past its highest reach. We're going to explain that in a minute. For sights and sounds at best can serve but to recall the memory that lies beyond them all. Forgiveness sweeps away distortions and opens the hidden altar to the truth. Its lilies shine into the mind and call it to return and look within to find what it had vainly sought without, outside, externally. For here and only here is peace of mind restored, for this the dwelling place of God Himself. And here's the prayer. In quiet, may forgiveness wipe away my dreams of separation and of sin. Then let me, Father, look within and find your promise of my sinlessness is kept. Your word remains unchanged within my mind. Your love is still abiding in my heart. Forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. Okay. And remember the other day that in the lesson, forgiveness is God's answer. It's the only means, the real means that we can undo, right? The fear that's within our mind and to rejoin with our holy self. We take accountability for the world that we have made through projection. We bring it back to our mind in true forgiveness. And then it's accepting the atonement, which the physical senses do not support at all. That's why we turn away from what we have made, go within, find that quiet, and seek the voice of a Holy Spirit, which is our right mind. And when we allow that to occur, the Holy Spirit then speaks and governs and directs our actions and our words. And for a while we allow Holy Spirit to govern the body of mythical me, we experience the forgiven world, the happy dream, the real world, the world of true perception. And this is a hot mess right now because we're actually having it formalized. But, while we're still drawing from an ego thought system, we pull from it through what we are, and we're looking out onto our projections, which is the unforgiven world, a world of bodies and separation. And so through forgiveness, this is what he's talking about here. For a while, through forgiveness, we bring in the mind of the Holy Spirit that we share with God, right? And then this governs. So this mythical me is now being guided, governed, directed by our mind that we share with God. Pulling from that mind results in love's messenger, and it looks out upon the real world or forgiven world. So that's exactly what he's talking about. Only through forgiveness can we overcome separation, fear, and all the conflict that we're experiencing. So it's a switch in operating systems, but we need to desire it and to allow it to occur through forgiveness and surrender.
Yeah. Thank you, sis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined. And, you know, in our experience, we're having this more and more, is that as the separation is lifted between our minds, the experience that we're having more and more, the felt state that we're having, is that felt state that Jesus calls a sinlessness. I call incorruptible innocence. Yeah.
Yes.
That
Yes.
incorruptible state of innocence. And the jewel in that, of course, is that we know that we are God's will in that felt state. And when we know that we're God's will in that felt state, we can know it for everyone else as well, because our minds literally are joined. They've always been joined.
Yes.
But with the gap diagram, we've believed that, yeah.
And separate bodies with privatized minds. We really do believe that the one mind of the Son of God has been splintered off into billions, and each one is private and separate. And so this, when we have that felt state of our union with God, when the memory of God arises, the clarity and the direct experience of the union with one another, with our brother, when we're seeing the face of Christ in our brother, right? Because the Holy Spirit's governing our lives, and we're beholding the Christ and the light and the truth and the love in a happy dream. And through there's no fear of, there's no separation, there's no fear, there's no guilt. So, you know, the memory of truth arises in our awareness, and it's just like you were saying, the felt state of union. And then, well, there could never have been a separation. And from that, it's, I'm innocent. We're all innocent. We know it because we feel it, and we feel it because we're experiencing it. And there's nothing that can tell us otherwise, because it's our own now, right? We're walking in the world, and it's proof is always in our experience daily. I have not had that extended experience, but I've had it in flashes and semi-sustained experiences, like for a day or two. But it's enough to let you know, hey, we're not experiencing the world as it is at all, while we think we're mythical me and separate.
Yeah, well, there's any sense of fear.
Right.
Or, you know, concern about the future, concern about our body, somebody else's body.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All of those defenses that we employ not to know union and oneness.
Yeah. It's so beautiful when we really get to that level of forgiveness that Jesus is asking us to go to. You know, we learn our immunity. I mean, we really accept our immunity because we're accepting the atonement, right? And we're accepting it for everyone else too. So we're seeing the Christ in everyone else as well as ourselves. Yeah.
Yes. And especially through holy relationship, that is such a grand entrance of the light into the dream of darkness and separation, where two or more gather with that common goal of forgiveness and union, right? The light comes into the world of separation, and it heals all minds, of course, because all minds are joined. Super grateful for that.
When we're healed, we're never healed alone.
That's right. So everything that we're doing here is for the one sonship. We're all being blessed by everybody's willingness to have their minds healed, the mind healed. Wow.
So, do you think we should introduce the realm of perception, the realm of knowledge, or do you think that's too much information?
No, I don't think so. I feel it's all right. Let me just do a share screen really quick. Share. Okay, so this is a wonderful diagram that we have. This was in, is this in the manual? No, this is in.
Yes, it's in the manual for holy relationship.
Okay, all right. Yep. So notice where we think that we are down below here, the split mind. It is the realm of illusions. It's the realm of the world of our projections, of the guilt and fear in our mind. So the dream of perception, consciousness, duality or partial awareness, the choice to perceive apart from God, right? That's what this is all is. It's a wish to experience a will apart from God. It's the death realm, near-death experiences, and the afterlife. They're all still part and parcel of a mind that is split, that still believes it's a body, whether that body seems to be dead or near death. All dimensions of time and space are in the split mind. The astral realm, different so-called levels of the astral realm. The physical universe and its so-called laws, ego's laws, that would be health laws, laws of economics. What are some of the other laws?
Nutrition.
Laws of nutrition. Yeah.
But biology.
Yeah, all those things that we say bind us and control us here in a so-called life apart from God, the dream of life, quote, life apart from God, the body and all physical forms, matter, material, and the laws of nature. Remember, Jesus says anything that changes is by definition false. So even nature and its beauty, as it's changing, we know that that's not really it. Extraterrestrials and UFOs. So in this realm of illusions, there's no order of difficulty in miracles because there is no hierarchy of illusions. All illusions are equally unreal. So this is all fantasy. Mm-hmm. It's the gap, right? Mm-hmm. You could say this is the gap on the bottom. Now, the one that hits the wall and says, I don't want this anymore, right? We're here at this portal of ascension. And these are the means in which we awaken. And it is the highest state possible before God is taking the last step. So in here we have true perception. So remember from this lesson here, it says forgiveness is the means appointed for perception's ending. Knowledge is restored after. Perception first is changed and then gives way entirely. So this is the place where perception is changed.
So this is the, sorry, sis, to interrupt you, but just want to make this very clear. This portal, this is where we are not just awaken in the dream as many masters have, right? But we actually awaken from the entire dream of time and space, the ego dream. Yeah.
Okay, so it says here we're given true perception for a while. How? Via forgiveness and accepting the atonement. For a while, we witness a real world dream, and the means for that, right, when we transfer from fear to love, is through holy relationship. Notice that isn't have nothing to do with the world's version of love. It is the embodiment and practice of a perfect love, the love of God, here in the dream. And we know that perfect love casts out fear. That's why this is the fast track. Okay. So, and then this here on the top, this is the absolute. This is home. This is our mind as it is in its natural state before the so-called split. It's a realm
heaven.
of, it's
heaven.
Heaven. Yep. Yeah. Sons are souls of God, the realm of knowledge. It's certain, right? There's no doubt. No perception, no consciousness, Christ mind whose will is one with God, state of undivided communion, heaven, eternity, oneness, singularity, where we co-create, co-creation with God, changeless, perfect love. God's mind, Christ's mind, is invincible because it is undivided. This is where innocence is known and embodied, and there's no opposite without opposite. Can't be an opposite to God. Okay.
And in this realm, there's co-creation with God, which is the third one from the bottom. But yeah, and that's something that is very difficult to understand from the very limited perception that we have here in the ego dream, because it's holographic. All higher workings of the realm of knowledge, heaven, is holographic. And infinite. So there's no time there.
And the way I tried it, like the way that I got it back then, or when it came through, was just this stepping out away from God and turning around and having an about face with God, brought in consciousness away from the mind of God and perception. So it's kind of like we know God, but we're also seeing and experiencing something else. And awakening recognizes that the one that seems to have stepped out and done an about face and then can have a relationship to God and with other things that aren't in God, through forgiveness, that one is let go. And we recognize that what we are in truth is spiritual, but we are the direct emanation, one flow, one extension of God's being, without opposite. So there's not a commenting or commentator mind any longer. That one goes, and we are sharing the mind of God, which is just one direction. Which is just one will. That's right. Yeah. Okay. So really it's all about, remember, God's answer was, the solution is forgiveness. That we're not be looking for solutions to fix or to know or to strive or to do anything at the same level as the problem. It's through forgiving this belief that God could have, that there could be God and something else. Forgiving that and accepting the truth is true and nothing else is true. So this is where we find ourselves as course students, right here. Letting go of what never was and to remember what has always been.
Thank you, sis, for taking us through that.
Sure.
Done.
Yeah. I think it's good. It's helpful. So we'll have that direct experience of joining with the one mind through forgiveness. Let me stop the share here. Okay. All right. You've got a blog, sis?
Yeah, I just had a thought.
Sure.
And the thought is that if anyone wants to take a good look at some of these diagrams, or all of the diagrams that are in a manual for holy relationship, that you can go to our website.
Yeah.
And there is a tab there that you can click on that mentions the book and all of the recommended resources, and they're free.
Yeah. There's a tab that says, if you go to the Manual for Holy Relationship off of the nouksanchez.com website, you open that, and there's up in the upper right-hand corner, you can click to get the diagrams and even the homework, like not homework, but there's questionnaires. There's
exercises.
Thank you. That's the word. Exercises that you can download singularly, or there's actually a zip file where you can get all of the diagrams together, and it's all free. So take advantage of that and spend some time with those too.
Yeah.
Yep. Good. Thank you. There's a blog that our sis wrote called The Light That Pierces the Darkness. I read it again this morning. So helpful, very valuable. That's going to be at the top of the list of resources down below in the show more or description box. We encourage you to read it.
That's
It's your
here in
treasure.
YouTube, right? In
Yes.
YouTube, just underneath the video. Thank you.
That's it. Yeah. Okay. The light that pierces the darkness. Okay, that was lesson 336. Forgiveness lets me know that minds are joined.
Good.
Thanks, sis. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, beautiful family.
Yeah, hope that was clear. Think it was
Yeah.
clear? Yeah.
It's clear for me.
Yeah, but did we unpack it okay? Yeah.
That's okay. I
All
think
right.
in the next few lessons, in the next few days,
Yeah.
it's going to be even clearer.
Yeah. Okay. Trust. All right. We love you. Thanks, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.